Alright, here's everything I use. This is olive oil spray. You can find it in the ethnic hair section of Walmart. It's really the only place I can find it. This is Streaking Tips. Where did we get that from?
Sally's Beauty Supply.
You get it from Sally's Beauty Supply. This is just a touch up in certain places. Coconut oil. Bottle of spray water. Clippers. And somewhere in here, a nice comb. Alright, and we'll start off. I'm not going to do all of it just because I don't want to have to do it again twice. Alright, pre-show grooming. Get your clippers out first. You want to start with like a 10 gauge blade for your clippers to get the whiskers off. You're going to want to go against the whiskers. They're in all places: the head, eyebrows, side of the cheek, underneath. And going against the grain will make sure you get them soft enough. Sit, bud. Sit. Come on. Don't lay down. No, no, no. Alright. It's a good boy. Okay. Let's go. Alright. And with the clippers, you're going to want to go back on the tin. Yeah, put them in a somewhat stacked position. This hair depends on exactly where the legs are. If they're too short, the hair will be too long when they're stacked. If the legs are too far out, the hair will be too short when they're stacked. So put them about what you would normally stack. And you're going to want to even out this hair. Do this very carefully because there's a lot of loose skin right here. It's easy to get. That's pretty messy, but you get the point. You clean up this area on both legs. Now with the tail. You're going to use this on the 10 gauge too. Really all of this stuff is on the 10 gauge. You're going to want to get the underneath of the tail, a little bit on the sides, even. And then you're going to, that little poof of hair, you're always going to want to edge that out. And again, I'm not doing this all the way. This is just kind of halfway. Alright, then we'll move on to the ears. Sit. I'm going to try to show you this the other way. Alright, with the ears, you're going to want to get this part right here. All of this on the 10 gauge as well. You're going to want to get the hair on the inside of the ears to about a ½ inch out, just so it creates a picture like that when you're looking at it. I shave down to get all the hairs that are in the ear. You want to make sure those are clean. You'll take you can take some peroxide and get on the inside of the ear with a cotton swab or whatever you want, so it's not as dark and gooey in there. Alright, and then moving on to scissors. This part is where he usually doesn't cooperate the most. Each dog is different where it's going to have the cowlick. Some of them will have one on the back of their neck. Some of them will have them all over their body. For Raven for instance, you can see, well, these are pretty groomed, but normally right here is a cowlick. I'll take the comb and then just kind of clean up the area where it sticks out the most so it's not as noticeable. The whole point of this is so not one piece of hair catches the judge's eyes. I don't know what that is. You're going to do that on the cowlicks on the side of the neck, over here, and then moving on to the back. There's going to be a lot of, his is pretty cut still, so normally there's a lot of stray hairs right here. You'll do the same thing where you'll comb it and kind of tighten these up all along here. You'll normally have 2 cowlicks right here, which you can't really do much about. You can kind of trim those up, but just be careful. On his belly, come on. Sit. Come on. On his belly, I normally try to get all in here and here. And that's it for that part. Now for the shoe grooming, I do all this about 15 minutes before. Gives everything time to dry so it's not kind of greasy on the judge's hands. I don't know where my brush is, but you need a brush too. Start out, spray them with water. Get a towel, wipe off all the dirt that's been left on there. And then, where are you going? Where are you going? Make sure you get all of it off everywhere you sprayed. Water and oil don't mix. Then I move on to the streaks and tips. This kind of depends on where your dog needs it. Raven's a little right here. I just give him 2 sprays. You don't want to use too much of that stuff because it'll come off black in your hand. And then the olive oil spray. You do this all over. You don't want to do anything in a kind of in a line because it will streak on him, which won't look good. You're going to want to wipe this off. This doesn't hurt their eyes or anything either, so. And then you take the coconut oil. I put it on the nose. I put it on the nose right about to up to here to keep it glossy, and then I'll wrap it around the nails too. It makes them show up black. So if you just cut them and they're kind of like you can see on this one where it's a little bit white right here, that way, I don't know if you can see it. When you put the coconut oil on, it doesn't look as bad. But yeah, that's it. Good boy. Good boy.